Well, it's time to get Little Blue ready to go. Little Blue as opposed to Big Blue. I don't have Big Blue anymore. Big Blue is a 98, or yeah, it was a Regency 98, but a 1976 model. And it's got a long story too. I'll tell some other time. But Little Blue here is one of the few cars I've ever bought brand new. And there it is. Yeah, let's see if I can get this thing to show you what's going on here. If, there you go.
I triple for.
Turn the baseball game off. Oh, you see that check engine light there? I've driven this now about 300 miles since I actually got it started up the other day. And that check engine light is there and does not go off when you start it. And so we're gonna pull the codes on it. Oh, this was supposed to be set up to where that I go right here. Blue driver. Oh, it's never made me sign in before. Yeah, let's sign in and see what happens. Come on. I was thinking that this already was set up to where that I didn't need to do all this stuff. Come on. Let me see if I can get the password logged in right and go from there. Okay, let's see what happens here if we hit the connect button. Oh my goodness. This thing usually works flawlessly with no problems. It's giving me a runaround here today. Okay, I'm not sure exactly why this thing's fighting with me so bad, but yeah, I think we got her now. Let's do all system modules. I don't ever remember having this much trouble with this thing before, or this thing's usually pretty easy plug and play. It's a blue driver, and had you asked me before this started, I would have said I really like this puppy. Let's see what's happening here. The car is an 03 Z06. You probably already figured that out. And I bought it new. We got not quite 90,000 miles on the car, and yeah, away we go. slowly than what I expected it to. By the way, the check engine light is still on, in spite of the fact that this thing is saying 0 confirmed trouble codes or 0 pending trouble codes. Let's see what the scan says. Where are we at here? 89%. I'll just keep working here, see what happens. I've got my suspicions as to what I got here, but okay. 13 codes found. I'm not gonna worry about updating the. Yeah, I am. We got 88, 650. Let's go with that number. Okay, 5 door module cores, right rear seat assembly, in status history, left rear seat heater switch, circuit low, left rear. That almost sounds like it gets some ground issues there. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the body, so that's okay. P0410. So, maybe we should do some research and see what this is. P0410. Ain't that fun? Let's see what we got. Well, if you can read that through the strobing here, you always get a strobing effect when you try to read a LCD screen with a camera. The most common cause of P0410 is going to be the one-way check valve failing. When it does, it allows moisture into the pump. The moisture can freeze in the wintertime. If frozen water does freeze up, the air pump itself, it may blow the fuse to it. This fuse is typically under the hood of the vehicle. This is a great place to start looking. It only takes a second to see if a fuse is blown. So it looks like I'm hunting down the fuse for the air pump. Great. Okay, I don't know if you can actually read that, but we're going for fuse number 50, and this is the engine compartment fuse block on the Corvette. Let's go see if we can find that. 50 is the third one down on the very right-hand column. You got 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, and then I'm not sure what you got after that. It looks like 46, 47. Those are maxi fuses. Let's see what we could even look like when you actually lay eyes on them. Well, it seems that I'm not the only one who's had issues with this P0410 dealie. And this is one of the suggested diagnostics here, is figure out what's in it. I have not went out to check the fuse yet. I'm just looking for other answers in. Okay, let's see if we can find the fuse. And I'm looking at that deal right. It should be this 20 amp right here. Let's see what this says. Yeah. 48 is open. Yep. It's this 20 amp fuse right here. See if we can get her pulled. Yeah, I don't think that's the problem. But we're going to go check it on a continuity tester and make sure. Yep, let's see what we got. Okay, well, the fuse work. Let's see if we can get this meter zeroed in. it's pretty close to being zeroed in. It's not a third of the way up the scale now anyway. Okay, so let's see if the meter even works. There's that. Yeah. In theory now, that should go all the way over. In reality, it didn't move at all. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Now then, this should test out just about the same way. Yeah, so far it hasn't made continuity across. Well, let's see what we can play with here. You know what I'm doing here. Let's see what I can do if I get all my hands free to do it. Okay, at this point, I do not have continuity. Let's see what happens when I connect up this. To that. I got continuity through the fuse. So it's not a fuse problem. Shucks, that would have been simple. Well, with the fuse ruled out, let's put the cover back on the fuse block, reinstall that, and let's go see what else we might be able to find. Well, outside of replacing that fuse, so far I have really done nothing, but let's see if, for whatever reason, maybe that fuse itself wasn't making continuity in the fuse block. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's not surprising. Yeah, that's not surprising at all. Yeah. Okay, that wasn't the answer. This won't be the answer either, but as you can tell right there, the check engine light is off. Now then, all that means is that I cleared the codes via the blue driver. That did not fix anything. It will be interesting to see how long it takes it to come back. However, I gotta tell you, the more I read, the more I'm convinced that that particular code, the fact that the check engine light's on, really doesn't affect my Corvette that much. That's purely the emissions loop, and in that regard, what that's meaning is that the O2 sensors aren't reading the effect of forced air into the exhaust system. Now, that will probably come back, but who knows how long. We'll see if we can figure that out. Okay. While we're here, though, we're going to see if we can clean up the MAF, mass airflow sensor. This isn't going to affect that code one way or the other. I don't even know if it needs to be done. All I know is that in over 20 years of ownership, I have never done this. See what I'm doing here through me or not. I'm removing the air horn. You know, can you see this or not? You see all this kind of stuff right here? That's actually part of that belt, and there's a reason that's happening. And that reason has to get fixed, but that's a major tear down and repair. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, but I'm going to hire somebody else to do that. Let's try it from this direction. also sure that I've already went far enough that I'm going to have to make sure I get this fixed. Oh man. Come on, that's supposed to be a simple pop off. There we go. There we go. This end now is supposed to be a simple pop off. I'm sure somebody thinks that these things are real nice and convenient and should work fine and wonderful. You know, just for fun. By the way, that's a 5/16 head on that hold down screw. I think it's the worm. I think it's the worm here holding it down now. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get down into this body and clean up my mass airflow sensor. Would be nice if that would come out of there as simple as what everybody else that's made a video on this says it's supposed to happen. Not getting it, am I? Not being cooperative with me here at all, for whatever reason. Let's try something slightly different. I don't know if I can get my tool in there or not. Doesn't look like it. Ah, crud. How when you try to do the right thing, things don't work. This right here goes into that socket. I hope you can see that. And that's what holds that whole thing down. Why aren't you coming off of there? I don't get it. The struggle, folks, is real. Well, I'm thinking I need to maybe revisit a video or two and see if I can figure out how to get that off of there the rest of the way. I think it's supposed to just pop right out of there at this point. But it sure ain't just popping right out of there for me. Right? Well, let's try this from another standpoint here. Let me look at this. Are you even seeing what I'm going for here? Let me... let's raise that up just a little bit. I'm trying to get associated in my own mind what I'm seeing here. Yeah, you're seeing it. Okay. I'm gonna try to get this one backed up. come on, wrench. It's working fine in my hand. Actually, I think what it is I don't think that thing's very tight. I'm not exactly sure whose idea all this stuff was, but whoever it was didn't make it easy for the seldomly under the hood mechanic. Okay, that's gonna come out this time, I think. Come on, pop. There we go. Okay, so I got that piece off. Now then, this thing here, you're supposed to be able to just, oh, there it clicked. When it clicked, maybe I can get it off. Huh? There it is. There, I'm free. Cool, that's what I need. And what we're working on cleaning out. I've never had this off of here before. I'm almost wondering if I've never had that off of there before. If that thing has been descreened, somebody else besides me did it. Tell you what, we're going to take this inside and continue the fight inside. It's beginning to chill down out here. We'll get there. But basically here, what you got is you got these 5 crossbars, and in between the crossbars, there's little wires, and those are sensors. And yeah, you can tell that this one and this one in particular are pretty well gummed up. So let's go see if we can get this cleaned up. We're not going to get it back on tonight, but we're going to get it to the place where we could put it back together tomorrow. Well, so here is the mass airflow sensor. And if I hold this just right, you can see those cross filaments in there. I think that's actually the sensor elements, is those cross things. We're going to clean this up. I'm still a bit amazed that this does not have a screen on it. And everything I'm seeing in forums is saying that that's supposed to have a screen on it. As far as I know, this is the first time this thing's ever been taken apart. My question is, did this actually come this way from the factory? I believe it may have. Now, I would not recommend you do this if your wife is watching, or your mother, your girlfriend, or a grandmother who, this is the kitchen sink, by the way. I will clean this up. I'm not too worried about that, but what I'm saying is, this is probably not how you're supposed to do this. Yeah. This has kind of got me. Now that did make a difference. That did clean some stuff off. This one in particular over here was pretty black until I started. You can now see that it's silver all the way through. Yeah, that looks better than what it did. I'm still a little bit concerned about that screen. I'm going to do some more research and see if maybe they released a few from the factory on purpose without the screen and the MAF. But I don't think that's necessarily what's supposed to happen here. I'm also going to guess
Yeah, that's definitely far cleaner than what it was. You're not supposed to rub those things at all. They're pretty fragile. I may do some rubbing like here. And I may do some more spraying there. There's a casting flash there on that aluminum. And yeah. I think we're going to work. And let's clean up these ears here too, just a little bit. And we're going to call this good enough. By the way, in case you didn't already know this, probably if you're interested at all, you probably already knew this. From everything I'm seeing and reading, you definitely want to get mass airflow sensor cleaner for this. You don't want to use carburetor cleaner or brake cleaner or that kind of stuff. My understanding is they've got a corrosive in them that will eat those little filaments alive. And you don't want those little filaments. You don't want them messed up at all if you can avoid it. This receiver here is dimpled. I'm going to guess that that's where the screen is supposed to be set to. I'm going to go out and check the car and see if maybe the screen maybe stayed in the tube that comes up to this. But I'm thinking I don't have a screen here. And I'm not sure that's all that great. I also don't know if I don't have a screen, if I can install a screen and do myself any good. The screen is actually supposed to straighten the air out, and it may be that the Z06 systems were straightened up on their own, that they didn't need the screen in there. I don't know. We'll do some more research and check back. Okay, I went back out and got my air filter, my air cleaner. This was replaced, I don't know, 6,000 miles ago. It's not in too bad a shape. We're not going to replace it. But the reason I did that was to check to see whether or not possibly that screen may have come loose and fallen down into the air box. But it's not down there either. So, well, the car has run for 20 years without it, evidently. I'm going to put it back together at some point without it. And do some like I said, do some more research, see if there's any reason to have it, any reason to chase one. I don't think there's anything wrong with this sensor. I've never thrown any codes that would indicate that the sensor was bad. But yeah, cleaning it every once in a while is not a bad thing at all. Well, looky there. I think I just found my answer. Look at the last paragraph here. One other notable thing is while the MAFs for LS1 and LS6 are the same for 01 plus, the Z06 in 02 plus has the screen removed. I've got an 03, so that would be 02 plus. So there's no point in continuing to look for a screen. According to this answer on one of the online forums, there was never one there to begin with. Well, how about that stuff? And up top it talks about having a 5-wire connector, and that is what this is. So here we go. We're gonna go back together as soon as daybreak hits, and we can get this thing going and running up and down the road one more time. Well, the guys on YouTube says that I should be able to do this entire job in 10 to 15 minutes. I've already got way more than that into here, and at this point, I get the real challenge of putting the air cleaner back in this thing. Let's see what we can do here. I'm not exactly sure whose design this is, but it is not exactly a winning one. And I'm not the only Corvette owner who says that, ooh, I may have just found something. If that whole tray comes out of there like that, that may have just made it substantially easier. That would be cool.
Look at there. Yeah, that may be far easier than what I've ever let it be before. Okay. Yeah, I'm not all the way in yet. Not all the way in yet. Okay, why aren't we going all the way in? I don't think we're even close. These. No. This hook and this hook goes in this and that. Now obviously this has to be down further in order for that to happen. However, not exactly sure why it wouldn't pop right in there right now. But this is, yeah, this is an interesting little venture. And I'm still fighting. Maybe there's a track that I didn't get it into yet, huh? Oh, there's got to be. I didn't have the box itself up far enough. Okay, there I'm pretty well in position. Now, if I can get my clamp here. What's going on here? I have this upside down. This one has come apart. I may not have that. Okay, that's how that goes. Okay, where did my clamp go? Here we go. This ends up real fine. Real fine. I'm sure that somebody thought this was just a wonderful piece of ingenuity. Everything but the spring on the clamp on the. There we go. There we go, maybe. Well, come on. Come on, you're supposed to just over center and clip right on there. Let's see, you're supposed to end up like this. Like this. Like this. There we go. We got her. Isn't that fun? Isn't that great? Isn't that lovely? All that for an air filter. Okay, now we're going to start the reassembly of this. Now, this is the ring that goes into the airbox collector. This is the end that goes to here. And if you notice, there's a proprietary clip here. This clip has to go into that socket. And so the journey here is to get this compressed and in there and have that end up being lined up. Without sticking your hand in here and bumping one of those goopy little things. Okay, there, I think I got her started. Okay, do I have her rotated close? Yep. I think if we just keep going with that now, I can figure out a way to get that to compress. There we go. And then you line that notch up onto that, you tighten that down, and pretty quick here we can put this whole thing back. Okay, let's see how easily this goes back in for me here. I'm not counting on anything. I'm gonna tuck that electric lead over there. Huh. Seems to be going back together far easier than when it came apart. Okay, one of the things I gotta check here, there's the notch on that. Okay, I think I wanted to make sure I tighten that other end down before I tighten it up on the throttle body. Let me see if I can get, you're not going to be able to see a thing I'm doing here. And I can't make this any better for you. But this is the ring that I got tightened up inside the house. This is the ring I'm trying to tighten. And I'm not quite sure exactly why they didn't arrange that to where that this would be easier to get to. But it is what it is. Yeah, little by little, I'm getting this. I would suggest if you're doing this, you get an ultra fine toothed 1/4 inch ratchet with a 5/16 socket on it, because this is not in a fun position at all. But we're getting it little by little. Ooh, I even got the ratchet. Got to tighten up that the ratchet's working. Okay. Can you see me do that? Tell you what I'm going to do. I think you can see me do this. I'm going to tighten this down with the nut driver, which is what I tried to do, would like to have been able to do on the other one. Yeah, this is going back together far better than what it came apart. Okay. We're getting closer. This clip here snapped right on. Now this safety clip slid right in. Now as far as installation, I should be done. Let's see if this thing will start. I think I left the key in it. Sounds like I left the key in it. Okay, I'm going to guess that if I ever do this again, it's not going to take me nearly so long, because there was definitely a learning curve there. But if I can do this, anybody can do it. Remember, I shut all my check engine lights off. They're now no longer there. And started it up. It did not come back. And away we go. The beginnings of spring and the fun of car ownership. I'm just checking to make sure that I haven't left anything undone here. That's back together. That's back together. Yep. I think we're gonna wrap this one up. Now, I got a lot more work to do on this car over the summertime here, but it's the 26th of March, and it turned cold on me here today. Matter of fact, it was snowing hard here about 4 hours ago. It obviously didn't stick, but the weather it's early enough in the spring yet here that the weather is playing funny games. But we'll take advantage of whatever good weather we can and go from there. Well, I hope you enjoy this one, and little by little we'll get the spring cleaning and spring readiness done here. The Corvette should be able to run up and down the road again if that check engine light comes back with that P0410 code. I'm not going to worry about it from what I'm reading. Someday I'll if I have to change that air pump, I will, but I've got other things that are more pressing at this particular point. Everything I'm reading says that that's not really going to hurt the performance of the car. Would like to have my gas mileage back a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. You take care. Have a good day. Have a good life. Keep smiling.